Well, welcome to 1979. We can do an entire album from start to finish without touching a computer. So we can track to tape, mix to tape, cut from tape to a lacquer without touching any digital processing. My part here is mastering, whether it's client wants digital mastering for streaming or digital download or CD, or a vinyl master or a lacquer cut. But then we also do lacquer cutting and electroplating. They're the first two steps in the vinyl manufacturing process before the record is pressed. My name is Bobbi Giel. I'm the head mastering engineer here at Welcome to 1979 in Nashville, Tennessee. I went to school for music production and I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do at the time. I liked sound design, I liked live sound, I liked recording and mixing, but I didn't really know what I wanted to kind of zone in on until I had an internship in mastering, but it was primarily in digital mastering. I mean, we didn't work a lot in tape, and then came here and I just kind of fell in love with it and the whole vinyl and analog world. With vinyl mastering and lacquer cutting, the lacquer itself, it's an aluminum disc with a coating of acetate on top, which is basically nail polish remover, just kind of hardened. And it has a very warm sound to it, so it's got a lot of mid-range, I wouldn't say a buildup, but it's more prominent. So when you're listening to music and you know it's gonna get cut to lacquer, you wanna make sure that it's not building up and you don't have distortion happening in the mid-range. Volume and low end is also a big consideration. And if I'm also mastering a project for vinyl and I'm gonna cut the lacquer for it, I know that it can't be as loud on lacquer, so I have to take that in consideration. I also don't wanna change anything too much sonically. I just wanna make sure that it translates as best as it can on a vinyl record. Because it's never gonna be a one-to-one match. What you hear on Spotify or any other DSP is not gonna be the same as what you hear on vinyl, because vinyl's just a different experience. It's important and it's great to have monitors that work well with digital and vinyl mastering, because as I can hear everything so precisely the way I need to hear it for digital mastering, I can also do the same for vinyl mastering. So I can hear that mid-range if there's a mid-range buildup. I can hear any playback distortion that might be happening. Nothing is masked or giving me a false sense of what I'm hearing. So it's great to be able to have one set of monitors that I can use with any process that I'm doing. The new Trio6s I really enjoy because they have everything that I love about the original, but the clarity on them is just so much more impressive. You know, the balance is there, the low end is there, the ability to pinpoint the frequencies that I need to pinpoint that are problematic for me when I'm mastering. I mean, I was referencing albums that I know very well, albums that I love and enjoy and have listened to hundreds of times, and I was hearing things on those records that I haven't heard before, like mouth noises and breaths and synth noises, and it was like listening to the record all over again. It was really lovely. I love the low end on them. I don't really need to have a separate subwoofer, which is nice because sometimes that can also get really murky. It's full and it's there, and they have some of the best low end I've heard. I find that the mid-range is not too harsh, which is also really nice because sometimes, especially when I'm mastering for vinyl, I have to take into consideration the mid-range and the upper mids because of, playback distortion, or, I have to de-ess vocals or anything like that. And so to have a mid-range that's present but not harsh to my ears is really nice and super helpful. Sometimes there might be just one frequency or one section that's just really problematic that I have to find, and using the focus mode is very helpful. I want something that is true to what I'm listening to, because this is something that's gonna be on thousands and thousands of listening systems, and I want to be able to hear every spectrum that I need to hear, and the new Trio6s have really helped me do that.